Afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining our. This is actually our third CEO's meeting, and we are very happy that we have a new attendees, Mr. Fu Chang from SNCF. I also would like to welcome every one of you who's joining. As Mr. Badri also excused himself. He said that he's in the meeting, but he will be catching up later. Okay, so I am flashing now the agenda for this meeting. We allocated some 30 minutes. Actually, if it is not if it is too much, we can even go on. This is an update on how credit unions coping up with the pandemic. It's just asking you to share some of your experiences and maybe top challenges that you've seen that the credit unions or your network is facing currently or is going to face. And then actually the purpose of our meeting is to introduce another credit union business solution which we developed. It's business solution number 26, which is a guide to credit unions on climate action. ACU had an opportunity to attend a workshop conducted by ICA ROAP, ICA Regional Office, which was held in Bangkok in December. And there were also participants from NATCO and from Credit Union League of Thailand. And in that workshop, it was highlighted that the credit unions need also to address and to actively participate in achieving the goal for climate, and this is what we are going to share with you. Coincidentally, the theme for the International Cooperative Day on July 4 has a theme on cooperatives for climate action. So I think this is very timely. We have developed this business solution before the pandemic, but we were not able to launch because our priority was to assist members on identifying impacts and responses, which is the business solution number 27 that we introduced to the CEOs in our last meeting. And after that presentation, we'll go around each one of you to reflect on how are we going to implement it, and so we will collate your responses, because this webinar is also recorded, so then we can always go back and see and review your sharing in this meeting. And the next one is we will schedule the next meeting. We are actually thinking that we want to connect with all the CEOs. It's your role. Your role is very important. So we would like to suggest that this meeting will be a regular meeting, at least on a monthly basis. And then we will have a 5-minute synthesis and closing. So we anticipate that this will last for 90 minutes. I hope that you have allocated time for 90 minutes. Okay, having said that, I will now pass on to Kunranjit to facilitate the CEO sharing of how credit unions are coping up with the current pandemic. Kunranjit? Kunranjit?
Hello, fellow CEOs. We are very happy to see everyone. Thank you so much joining. I will be hard call. moderating this session, maybe only sharing experience. You can focus what action you have taken in terms of strengthening the financial institution as well as helping your members on how to call providing financial counseling. We all aware you have a lot of certain welfare and community activity, but we will like to focus as our core business level. I think that should be our. We understand what you have done is very neat for your members and institution, but we like to sharing, looking how you help the financial cooperative institution to look their uncertain situation, to look at what would be the continuity of the business plan of the institution, and how the primary cooperative is helping to the every member level to cope up with that situation and to help them to move. So maybe we will start from, I will not going to uh, how to call designate any person. Kindly take the microphone and then you just to tell from which country. Of course everybody knows, and focus that. Maybe time limit, maybe maximum 3 minutes for each person. Okay, thank you so much. I will open the floor. Please take the floor. Thank you. I'm opening the floor, please.
Right. I think I would volunteer Mr. Fu Chang. It's also please introduce yourself because this is your first time joining our CEO's meeting. Everybody knows Dolly. I'm sure that they also know you. They have seen you in our forum, but can you please introduce yourself and then share with us what's happening in Singapore and how SNCF help the credit union, the cooperatives?
Sure. Thanks, Danny. So I'm Chuan Yang. Fu is my surname, so Fu Chuan Yang. I'm from SNCF Singapore. I handle the credit co-ops in Singapore. So Dolly was previously our CEO. She has left SNCF as at end February. So meanwhile, we are still searching for a replacement, but any credit union matters will be handled by me in the meantime. So hello, everyone. So basically, a quick introduction of what has happened in Singapore is that for the past few months, I think since March, we have been on not really a lockdown, what we call a circuit breaker, whereby all operations are to stop except the essential services. So the supermarkets, the financial services, these are all essential services. They can continue, but the rest of the business, we are not supposed to open for operations at their business premises. So credit unions in Singapore are considered essential services. So we managed to keep the credit unions open throughout the period. But of course, we also have to take precautions to make sure that the members and the staff are taken care of. So there are measures put in place: safe distancing, wear masks, limit numbers of people coming in, shorten working hours, and all that kind of thing. So we have done all that. And the credit unions in Singapore has also done quite a bit in terms of helping their members. So some of them actually have what we call a micro loan, a very small amount, but very quick approval so that people can get funds very quickly for a short time. And members can also ask for extension. So moratorium basically, so they can put their monthly repayment on hold for a few months, and when things get better, then they will start the monthly repayment again. So there are a few things that credit unions have been doing here, and until 1st June, which is just recently, we have moved on to another phase whereby businesses are allowed to go back to their premises, but we are still advised to work from home as much as we can. So legally, we are allowed to go back. For example, SNCF, I am allowed to go back to my office, but we are strongly advised to stay at home unless we really have no choice. There are certain legal documents or certain things that we really need to go back to office. Otherwise, we are advised to stay at home and work from home. So that's the situation here. And one more interesting thing that is happening this year is all of us will be doing an e-AGM. So all of us will conduct our AGM virtually, just like what we are doing now. And voting and everything will have to change, and the paperwork and the timing and all that. We are making a lot of changes to fit into an e-version of AGM. So that's one of the big things that are happening in Singapore now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chong Yang. So you are the right person coming to our forum. I think
Thanks,
all
Ranjit.
the CEOs, because we know SNCF is the whole apex body. You are the right person for the networking in the credit union sector. Thank you so much. You're highlighting. So it is we are looking. Very interesting credit union providing some micro loan and allow for in the moratorium, and also they're going for the kind of the helping for every members. I think thank you so much for sharing your experience. I hope it's very useful for the members. So shall I open for the another country to come, please? Hello, CEOs. I am opening the mic for you. Could you please? Are you there, everyone? There is a message from Mr. Young asking e-AGMs. Our colleagues from Philippines, Sylvia, asking, kindly share your experience how you conduct the e-AGM, virtual AGM. Can you bit give in your experience, how it handle it, whether you create a separate portal or what technology using to people, particularly the election process? It would be very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, what we are doing here is, this is not just on the credit unions, but all across Singapore. So the listed companies, the charities, the non-credit unions, everybody is going to do a virtual AGM. And what happened is our parliament actually passed a law to allow e-AGM, because most of our bylaws, most of our act actually do not provide for virtual AGM. All, for example, in Cooperative Societies Act in Singapore, all meetings, all AGMs are supposed to be in-person AGM. So it's inside the act. So what we have to do is we went to Parliament, pass a special act to say, okay, this year is going to be special, and this period of time, you can conduct e-AGM, and these are the rules. So there's a new set of rules that is out. I can share the link to our regulator later on the legislation that has been passed to facilitate e-AGM. But basically, e-AGM, what we're going to do is, it will be very much like a Google Hangout or a Zoom or whatever webcast version, whereby the chairman and the CEO will be presenting as usual, but no voting will be done during the AGM. What will happen is everybody will sign a form, a proxy form, to appoint the chairman to vote, speak, and ask questions on their behalf. So if they have any questions, if they want to vote for something, if they want to say something, they will sign the form, pre-appoint the chairman of the meeting, and during the AGM, the chairman will speak and ask questions and vote on their behalf. So all this is done, and it reduces the frictions of having too many people. Let's say everybody wants to speak or everybody wants to vote at the same time. Virtually is very difficult. So we actually allow these things to be done through a proxy form method. So that's one of the things that we are doing.
Very good, very interesting. I think this is a very good point other CEO to learn. I think almost Asian country, there is a no legally provision to have a virtual electronic meeting. I think that Singapore did it, I think, very quickly. They did a parliament new act. So it's a regulated, so there'll be no any how to call loopholes in the future. So it's a regulated AGM that's included in the cooperative sector also. Thank you so much. Your experience is very useful.
Thanks,
So which
Ranjit.
will be next one?
I will follow Ranjit. Hello, Ranjit. Hello.
Yes, yes, Sylvia, please go ahead.
Yeah. So for the Philippines, we have already shared previously our initiatives. This morning, the NATCO Managers Club also had their online General Assembly and they had online voting. It was interesting because I think we used the Google Meet, and it's funny because you can enter a ballroom, that is your plenary, and when they went into voting, they went into clusters, so you have breakout sessions. And when you vote, you go out to another place and cast online your vote. So I think it was very nice because it is really possible that you have a plenary, then you can still have a GA with cluster sessions because there is a way to do that. So I think that was a good exercise. Yesterday in our managers club, we also discussed the importance of data from the primary cooperatives because in the Philippines, unlike in other countries where the primaries really submit their data, here in the Philippines it's voluntary. So we encourage the managers to submit the data so we will have a data-based analysis of the situation. uh, because right now we were able to get more than 40 cooperatives to submit, and we wanted it monthly because we wanted to see how the liquidity moved, how the deposits moved, how the surplus is right now. So we told them that those who submitted to us, and there were just 19 co-ops with really complete data, we saw that the deposits still increased, the liquidity has increased, but we did not get more data, and we would have wanted to get data, especially for the national capital region, because they were really closed almost the whole time. So I think we need to have the data to monitor where they are. Otherwise, it is difficult to advocate for anything because then you are just assuming that that is the situation. Then second, at the level of NATCO, we're operating mostly from home, and we actually reviewed our process because even after COVID, I don't think we will all go back to the office. We will continue to work from home. Then we also guided the primaries with certain policies to adjust to the new normal. So for example, we drafted some suggestions on what to assign to the staff when they work from home because working from home is something new. So if your teller goes home and works from home and you don't have an online system, what will the teller do? So we tried to realign the work of the specific people in the cooperatives and the work, and our suggestions would be a guide for the managers. Because can you imagine if there are 800 cooperatives thinking what to assign to their tellers when they go home, what to assign to a collector when they go home, what to assign. So we provided them a template so that they can just check what they will assign to their staff when they work from home. So we have developed a lot of policies to help the cooperatives, but I think we still have to see really how this will move. For sure, the profitability is negative in April, and I think the portfolio at risk has doubled compared to December. So if there is no regulatory relief, which is what we are asking from the regulatory body, we will have difficulties. But I think almost all of the cooperatives are now open, although skeleton force, although shortened period, but they're now open. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. You touched very important component about liquidity assessment, or maybe forecasting for cash flow analysis. I think yesterday also we talked about the DE. I think it's very important to go their portfolio, every single members, their ability to pay is not automatically granting moratorium to the next 3 months or 6 months, because there are some people has no any single effect because of the COVID-19. They have a well of people, they are having a salary earners, there's nothing to happen. So then they should not really get that privilege, they should able to pay. I think each credit union, if they really go one by one looking for their whole portfolio analysis, I think then they will see the liquidity issue. Right now I think they are looking for generally, so a whole banking sector in the world will have a liquidity problem because of the moratorium government regulatory framework. Very important, you also get the new kind of law about how the people can work home. I think there are some job they can do home, definitely there are some job is not able to do at home. I think that's time they have to look at the manpower, how to maximize for the helping to the members. So that is why counseling, whether it's correct or not, I don't know the word. How do you credit union go extra mile to help the members economic affairs, how to shaping their type of assignment. I think once you open to go in the community, I think that type of arrangement is very, very useful. Thank you so much sharing for the hangout. There are a lot of opportunity. I think we have not explored how possibility of the conducting electronic meetings. Still we are learning. I think it's very good sharing. Thank you, Sylvia. Shall move to the next one. Thank you.
Kunranjit, shall we invite Mr. I think it's Mr. Mototoshi. He's joining actually by phone. So maybe we can give priority to him. Mr. Mototoshi, is that you joining by phone?
No problem.
Yeah. Mr. Mototoshi from Japan. Can you hear me?
Mr. Matatoshi, are you hearing? The floor for you.
I'm just assuming he is Mr. Mototoshi from Japan. He's
Mr.
joining.
Matatoshi. Okay, but not maybe
Yes,
somebody else.
there is no name. Yes, the one
No
joining
name.
by phone. Can you come in, please?
From Japan, maybe somebody is with us from Japan. Can you share with us? Because I look at the phone number 81333357. It's from Japan. Do you like to share? No. Okay. So any other member, CEOs?
Hello.
Yes, hello. Good
Oh,
afternoon.
hi. Yes. Good
Hi.
afternoon.
Yes, please
Um,
go ahead.
about the Japan situation, um, we started our economic again, as normal before, but the government put the regulation to new social life. The old government never do a lockdown to Japanese economy because most of credit union customers are very small and medium-sized corporations, and their cash management is really hard right now. So government ask our credit union members to manage their balance sheet to put more money as loan. So we are now very tight schedule for managing loans. As so from the perspective of credit unions in Japan, it's a very hard time to make a balance in our balance sheet and our client's balance sheet too. And about the social change, people start new social life, but quite similar as before. So most of people are very afraid of the same things are gonna happen in next winter. So I expect the same one. So but yeah, but I
Thank
think
you.
next. Oh yeah.
Thank you so much. I think what I got it, people change Japanese. Of course, everyone has a very hard time. I think social life is changing. That is what she's highlighting. I think Badri want to share. Mr. Badri, could you please take your mic?
Thank you very much. Namaste. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, Mr. Badri. Yeah, we can
Namaste.
hear you.
Okay, namaste, and I
Namaste
hope
to you.
all of us are in good health, and all of our members are in good health as of now. Just I'm objecting what we objected AQ in last meeting. First of all, I would like to thank AQ for organizing this type of knowledge sharing platform and keeping the guidance on the pandemic, which is really helping us to, I mean, develop and formulate the new policies and creating the ideas. So as of now, based on that guideline, NCBL had developed one list of items and asked to Department of Cooperatives for relaxing some of the issues, like not penalizing the cooperative because of not submitting report on time, and extending the deadline for conducting the general assembly, because if they are not doing it, they will be penalized. So extending the relaxing and loan loss provision, putting the loan in the same class before the pandemic. If the loan is in good class, it will remain in good class despite not being recovered any installment in pandemic. If the loan is in bad class, it will be remain as a bad. So what will be the what was the I mean the status before the pandemic? It will remain that. So these were the some of the guidelines that we got from AQ, and we develop it here at NEFSCON and NCBL, and there is some of the other managers. We discuss it and formulate it and submit it to the Department of Cooperatives for making this provision and circulate through government of Nepal. Okay, that is what we did. And apart from that, NCBL conduct research on the credit risk impact on the cooperative sector. We took CI as a 95% and took a sample of one-third portfolio and 381 cooperatives. So the report, as per the report, 21% of the loan uh, of the credit unions is not impacted by the COVID, because it goes to the health-related production and grocery and all other stuff. And 35% of the loan that was distributed, I mean, of the credit union has an impact up to 3 months. I mean, this was a seasonal credit facility provided to the members whose business would have only impact up to 3 months. 90% loan will be impacted up to 6 months. 20% of the loan would be impacted to 9 months, and 5% are these loans that were granted to that area, which might take 12 months or more to revive on that. So generally, we predict 7.5152% loan would be thrown as a non-performing loan because of the impact of the COVID. This was a 1 month research activities carried on by NCBL, and we are discussing our draft report to central bank, and they are very happy to know that we did it, and they give us one input. This is since we cover only the cooperative side, it is a supply side. So we are taking the interview of the loanee so that we can incorporate the uh, demand side of the concern also. So we are recommending all the cooperatives to revalue their assets and then their loan and all, and take a precautionary measure to that. So that was what we did, and that was a small study that was carried on by NCBL. Second thing is we are able to uh, create a fund for the credit liquidity crisis created by COVID. So it will be 5 billion rupees. That is from NCBL, and we are able to distribute to it to some credit union and cooperative. Interest rate of this credit has been same for Nefscoon and us. So guideline is same of Nefscoon and ours. So this is what we mutually agreed to deal with the COVID impact on the Nepal. So Nefscoon and NCBL developed the same policy, same procedure, lending policy, and the created a fund. So that is what we did to tackle the liquidity crisis. Another aspect about the members is we are regularly conducting the meetings, electronic means. Nepal Rashtra Bank had issued directives. How can we conduct meetings by Zoom, even by Zoom or electronic means? So because taking that piece where we are conducting our meetings and all through electronic means, I mean online, and we had developed guidelines for the meeting. It has some legal base because Central Bank of Nepal has issued the directives how to conduct the online meeting. Another part is we are in terms of staff related issue, we had developed two set of staff. One set will continue for 3 days, and second set will replace them by 6 days, so that even if we have a coronavirus infected staff, the same set will not come, and another set will take charge of this operation. So all the branches where whoever is opening has a two set, and set A will come 3 days, and set B will come next 3 days. In that rotation wise, we are conducting the day-to-day operations. We took corona insurance, even though generally there is not a tendency of taking insurance of the pandemic. Somehow, Nepalese insurance sector is offering us. We took corona insurance for all staff and board members so that they will get some sort of, I would say, they feel some sort of assurance taken by NCBL to help them.
Thank
So
you,
that is what
Badriji.
the situation.
By this time, I will maybe just taking to the back again, Mike. Maybe we can share a little later. I think Badriji has important. They mentioned about. I would like to use the word, and it's the new normal. We will never going back before March. That means our whole society will have a new normal. We will know what's going to happen at least another 1 year or 2 year time. So we have to live with the new normal situation. And Badri has a very important mention about assessment of the portfolio. I think by this time we like to go to our main session. Q has developed on type of the program for climate action. Everyone knows about the SDG, and I think we have created some of the activity, how you can use it for reaching out to 1 to 8 goals. I think we have various activity, but this is the first time ACU has developed climate action. That means the SDG 13. How we will going to respond. I will also our CEO Ms. Lenny to go for the presentation, and I will come back again for question and some comment. Kindly keep the note and don't go away. We will not take more than another 60 minutes. Okay, thank you, Skolani. Take the mic.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kunranjit, and thank you very much for those who share their experiences. Hearing from you, and based on our last CEO conversation, we are very confident that you are on track on responding to the pandemic and assisting your credit union. So life must go on, and so we should not forget that there are other things that are on our plate, and one of those is what we want to share with you this afternoon is about the contribution of credit unions to climate action. I mentioned earlier that we attended the one workshop organized by International Cooperative Alliance of the regional office, and after that workshop we realized, yes, it should be a part of our credit union operation. Earlier, I was thinking that our contribution to climate action is tree planting, which most of our cooperatives are doing. But beyond that, there's a lot of things that we can do, because protecting the environment is a lifestyle. It's a daily, how do you call it? It's a daily habit that everyone in the credit union should actually observe. Okay, so this is my presentation. What we want to achieve in this meeting is to see for ourselves, why do credit unions or cooperatives need to contribute, and why our contribution is very important in addressing climate and protecting environment, and in what ways we can contribute and how we can proceed. So I am going to show you one video, and this is explaining on why we need to contribute and why everybody.
Let's talk about climate change. We are hoping the crisis of our time. It is.
Hello, Kunajit. Huh? Sorry? You can see? Yes, Kunajit. Oh, okay. Oh, hello. I think some problem. Actually, there was a video. You cannot hear, Kunajit?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I think the video is not working. So I will proceed with my slides instead. But actually, the video is about the climate change. Okay, this is actually the facts right now. The concentration of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere as of 2018 is the highest it has been in 3 million years. And since 1990, global emission of carbon dioxide has increased by almost 50%. I can imagine, I've been talking with my friends in the Philippines, and they are saying that it's very, very hot in our country. That is also the same thing here. It's because of this fact that atmosphere, Earth has been very, very warm during these days. 11% of all global green gas emission caused by humans are caused by deforestation, comparable to the emission from all the cars and trucks on the planet. So the greenhouse effect is, you can see this picture showing how Earth has become very, very warm. And the fact is that if the atmosphere is very warm, there's a lot of natural disasters. And the natural disasters are really affecting, especially Pacific countries like the Philippines. There are 800 million people, or 11% of the world population, is currently vulnerable to climate change impacts such as droughts, floods, heat waves, extreme weather events, and sea level rise. All right. This is the global, the SDG 13 goal, which is to combat climate change. And when you look at the actions here, I think credit union can help to improve the 13.3. We can participate in that because we can help in educating our members on how do we, on a daily basis, protect our environment. The July 4 International Year Cooperative theme is Cooperatives for Climate Action. I have a webinar that I will be joining on Monday, and this is to share the action of financial cooperatives in Asia on how do we contribute to climate change. So that is the reason why we call all the CEOs, because we wanted to hear your voice on what is our take on in helping achieve this goal. Okay, what we can contribute. We put together a business solution called Guide to Credit Unions on Climate Action. It's a work in progress, and we have just put that together and presenting it to you, because I am sure that it's not new to us. But I think the most important thing is that we need to have a very coordinated efforts so that we can measure and we can see the impacts of what we are doing. Okay, the Credit Union Business Solution number 26 is a guide to climate action. This is a menu of climate action programs that we can undertake in our respective credit unions or in our respective networks. Everyone needs to take part in saving the earth we live in, because the credit union is a 30 million strong in Asia. We have 36 million individual members, and when you look at your individual countries, if only that, protecting the environment is part of our daily living, I am sure that we can help in, saving our environment. Credit unions must consider their contribution because climate change will impact our future significantly. Impacting the future, I think it's not only the future, it's already happening now. The flooding, the typhoons that we are experiencing, particularly in the Philippines, the warm weather that is causing drought, it's really impacting economic condition of people in our communities. Yes, Kundanjit? Is it right? Oh, I'm so sorry. Kunajit is saying that, hello, can you see my PowerPoint?
No,
Oh, why?
no PowerPoint.
Oh, God, good. Okay, I restart again. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
sorry for that. Sorry for that. I was talking. Okay, I hope that I'm sure that you all understand. I do not need to repeat that. The facts about climate change, about the global warming. So I would start with here with this slide, saying in this slide I was sharing that we have prepared a guide for credit unions that will help credit unions to put up programs on protecting the environment. This is a menu. It's a work in progress, and it's a work in progress. Meaning to say is that anything that a new innovation and a new program that is not included in the guide, we can immediately incorporate it and share across among credit unions in Asia. Everyone needs to take part in saving the earth we live in because credit union system is a 36 million strong individual members in Asia. If everyone will take part in this, in saving the earth, I think the credit union has a lot of potential to contribute. Credit unions must consider their contribution because climate change will impact our future significantly. I was saying that it's not only future, but even it's already impacting us. We can see how the climate has become warmer compared in the past. Um, Right now, everybody is complaining. It's very hot. You cannot stand the heat, and everybody has to go inside the building and open the air conditioning. And when you open the air conditioning, it's also emitting carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. Uh, uh, it is very urgent to integrate climate action in our daily lives because when we attended at the workshop with ICA, I realized it's really a daily life, daily life, habit to protect the environment. Even the smallest contributions can counter global climate change. Climate change is a major threat to our environment, society, and economy, but a prosperous, inclusive, and low carbon world is possible, according to the Alliance of CEOs of climate leaders. Because the global warming or what is happening in our environment now is actually created by people, and they are saying that it's also people who's going to counter the effect of climate change. Okay, how this is what we have included in the business solution, the ways how credit union system can contribute. The first is in your home, in your credit union, and in your community. In our home, we have identified these areas that we can help, protect the environment. It might be right now. Maybe this is one. This is one. The one is using solar panels. Probably the credit union can there are you have many members who can afford this. Probably this could be part of the credit union financial services. Maybe it could be part of the green finance of the credit union where you are financing solar panels on the homes of your members. We also have incorporated energy audit. We can also include guidelines or templates which wherein an individual member of credit union can have a self-assessment of the energy that they are using in their home. You know, LED light bulbs, maintenance of air conditioning, upcycle furniture, recycling clothing, using Energy Star labeled appliances, unplug electronic devices, using natural lights at workplaces, eat for climate stable planet, you know, using drought resistant plants, recycle, composting, no bottled water, and reduce food waste. There are a lot of things here that really related to the way we live or our lifestyles. So when we look at this, when we introduce this to our members, I think there's a lot of education that we need to do for our members to, you know, for them to participate in saving the environment. In our credit union, these are the areas or items that we have included in the solution. One is appoint eco ambassadors, whether it's possible for your credit union. This is something to think about, and we'd like to have a discussion with the CEOs. Zero use of plastic and styrofoam, waste audit, carbon footprint and emission audit, go vegetarian maybe 1 day per week. Maybe you're asking why. Because it says, according to the experts, consuming lots of meat or raising lots of animals is also contributing to lots of carbon emission. Eco-friendly credit union souvenirs, green your energy, eco-friendly office supplies, environmental workshops with members, and climate finance, organizing farmers market, and organizing healthy cooking classes for the members. In the community, a lot of our credit unions are engaging, are having a lot of community engagement. So these are the items, or these are the suggestions that we can think about on our community engagement, which are related to saving the environment. Roadside planting, rain gardens, community-scaled gardens, light-colored roofing and pavements, save older buildings, support local river cleanup, and adopt a forest. I have noted that many credit unions are doing tree planting, but it's only one time. But if we convert our tree to adopting a forest or greening an area, I think it is much more sustainable. Okay, so I do not want to go further any detail on those programs. So if there are anything that you would like to ask later on during our question and answer portion, we would be able to discuss it with you and brainstorm together with you. All right, these are some examples based on the ICA website. There is one credit union. I think it's in where is this? That the project is a community forest with people living in rural areas to help restore a third of its lost forest. The Swedish Cooperative Union is a federation of 48 consumers cooperative that accounts for 21.4% of the entire Swedish grocery retail store. What they did was to reduce its greenhouse gas emission by 52% between 2008 and 2012, and they are still continuing at this time. Okay, so how can we proceed on this? This is actually not I just propose action plan for you to visualize how can we go, how can we implement. I think we need to have a lot of education. Education is in the first box. We need to build the ground. Why credit unions or why individually as a credit union member need to take care and need to be you know, uh, you need to participate in this SDG 13. We need to create awareness building, identify national issues by involving national leaders of the credit union movement, and maybe to create a template on identification of local climate issues at credit union. And we need to work as a federation, we need to work with our credit unions to prioritize actions based on the expressed local needs. We also need to prepare an action plan based on the guide that we developed. So I was mentioning this is a work in progress and we can still incorporate any ideas coming out from this meeting and strategize for implementation, which is we are ready for change. We can pilot credit unions, establish partnership to build capacity, and maybe we can think about certification program for climate action compliance. Probably, with the agreement of all the CEOs, we can create one template where we can enumerate some actions that credit unions can implement, and we will be certifying them if they're able to comply with that. And of course, seek commitment with our credit unions. Okay, so I'm going to stop in this and would like to have a discussion with the CEOs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think I believe this is the first formal presentation from ACU network, focusing, of course, there are various local initiatives, every single cooperative, every members. I think this is the formalizing. There are 3 level of our action. I'm not going to summarize it that. I can see that some posts are coming. Yes, they are doing certain individual and community level some activity. I will put it the 3 level. One is any classification is needed. Kindly first go the classification part. Or next one, if you want to do some additional compliments on this, maybe which we have not seen, because we will go for the next was the TOT program, because this is the first time that we introduction for the CEOs, and then we go to the TOT online. If you feel we missed some point or some other area need to more weightage, more highlight, can you add it? And then general our action plan, what we should go forward. Of course, we know this is not the normal situation, but I could say new normal. We have to live with the new normal. At the same time, it's very important to look it for our climate protection action also with the new normal condition. So with that, so again we go one more round. So almost 1 hour is gone. We have another 30 minutes to go. Please take the microphone. Of course, you are all the CEOs right now. There are 18 CEOs around maybe 9 countries or 10 countries. Yes. So please take your mic and please start from certain technical clarification and maybe supplement and your action plan. Thank you.
May I add something?
Yes,
You can just start.
Okay. Thank you, Aku, for providing a glimpse about this new credit union solution number 26 related to the climate action within the credit union business solutions up to 27. This is the new areas for credit unions because it is felt as the need of credit unions to be addressed in the communities. So it will help us uh, even to promote the community, to protect the environment, and to concern for climate actions. So we are for these days until the ACU issued 27 business solutions. We were talking about the good governance, financial literacy, risk management, quality assurance, and other things that was related to the savings and credit mobilization through the credit unions. As we are the CEOs from network, really we need to address these climate change issues, and we need to think differently how we can implement through the credit unions, and how we can create awareness among the credit union members. Really, they need to protect our environment, and we need to work for the climate change issues. So first of all, what I'm putting the issue, or not suggesting, maybe it is the suggestion for finalizing this document of solution number 26. We need to prepare TOTs on creating awareness, how this climate change action would be implemented or adaptable by the credit unions or within the Asia, or maybe replicated in around the world. Once credit unions apply, we need to create awareness sessions. We need to facilitate how to protect our local environment, really that contributes to the world. So in the staff of credit union level, or first of all, we our Lenin has already addressed if we need a TOT for network level, then the knowledge and techniques would be deployed to the credit unions staffs. Then they can facilitate to the members of the credit unions, or they can facilitate to the facilitators within the credit union. Then they can start awareness to protect the environment. For this, there may be lots of ways for creating awareness, developing a guideline, or developing a leaflet, or for creating awareness, or posters, pamphlets, or one of the clips, video clips that can be shared by the Facebook or YouTube or network websites. Then they can get knowledge on their concerns. The credit unions should concentrate on climate action, because the credit unions are the trusted institution among the community. Everything they need any help or assistance, they request or knock the door of credit unions in Nepal. What I am telling, the situation of Nepal during this pandemic, every consultancy or cooperation the village people or community people are getting by the credit unions, because they trust. So this issue can be delivered, or can be deployed by the credit unions. I assure that. So some of the model after this solution is finalized would be better to provide a guideline to the credit unions staffs and network staffs too. Then really it will be implemented in the community level. It is my view, because it can be deployed through the network, then the credit union staffs, then the members of the credit union. It is my point.
Okay, thank you so much, Shivaji, asking for some of the follow-up action to provide the TOT. I think what I like to a little bit, Ms. Lenny has presented a very simple new normal, the way the people, individual kind of behavior and kind of lifestyle, so how they can contribute to the climate action. We know that 40 million within the Asia network. If you put into this type of like a program, it's a launching the national level and the primary level. It will be a big awareness for the community through the cooperative system, because 1 billion for the cooperative system. Credit union has a 200 million around the world, but Asia we have a 40 million. So if you build these other 12 type of lifestyle behavior, I think without spending any penny, we are greatly contributing. As well as, again, we will put institutional wise, if they have someone conscious about this, so we can also participate for the climate protection and against that. Another one is our core business. Our core business is a financial services. When you are dealing with our core business, if you look forward priority for our core business also through the climate action, how it's helped. I think this is Kuleni has already presented. So definitely whenever going to have a TOT, we will able to bring in some tools, some how to call visuals for promotion. We will create it. If you wish that member level, you need to have a kind of promotional poster. Yes, certainly we can design for visuals, maybe local language you may able to publish and sharing. And institutional level we can create another visual, so you can every institution but when it's come to the core business, we have to really care about our product and services to addressing this climate action. So shall we hear from some other comments?
Kurajit, can I add also?
Yes, Kuleni.
When we were attending that workshop, we, you know, it was attended by, yes, Sylvia, would you like to share?
Lenny, I think
Yes, yes.
what I like about this is very simple examples on how you contribute. I think it's like the proposals are easy, so it's I mean know which where you can choose from when you implement it in your home or when you implement it in the credit union. So I think that's what's nice about this business solution. There are very simple things that you can do, and that means you can already contribute.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Sylvia. And I think it's also exciting. Like for example, when we were preparing this, like for example, we appoint a how do you call a environment ambassadors in our credit union. So they are the ones who are really advocating to the members. Particularly, I am also when I attended that workshop, it was facilitated by really experts on environment. I felt very guilty because how do I say, when we go to supermarket, we buy a lot of things and we put in the refrigerator until we cannot finish all of them, until it gets spoiled and you just throw in the garbage. That one is actually not good for the environment, because when you throw your waste in your home, it creates carbon emission. So we are not actually helping. You know, in our daily lives, there are a lot of waste that we are creating. Only in one family, if only a member will be very cautious about the waste that they are generating at home, they are already helping to save the environment. So I think these are the things. And not only that, in addition to that, we were thinking to have six C's of we have a 5 C's of credit, correct? So we are thinking to include another one, C, which is climate compliance, if you would agree with that. Any thoughts on that? Yeah, if you have any thoughts on that, or you agree with that, we will have another C of credit, which is climate compliance.
I think maybe there might be things going to be additional work. No, I think this
No,
is not going to have an additional work. It's kind of how to call consciousness. That is what Kuleni has tried to build every citizen about the climate protection action. So that is why your buying, your eating habit, your transportation, things. I think if you a little bit awareness on this, so definitely people can contribute further to reducing the carbon. I think that's what Kuleni is mentioning. Maybe project proposal before we grant in the loan, there will be another criteria to at least to consider how it climate friendly. Is there anything against for the climate action? So that is why we like to see another C. So then not only 5 C's, it will be a 6 C's climate action.
Kunranjit, there will be 2 kinds of C. I mean, there will be 2 sets. If the borrower is is an individual, it will be assessment of climate compliance at home. And if it is a business, it's also home and business. So that's what we are thinking, if you will agree with that. If our CEOs would be supporting that proposal. Any more comments? Okay, I will read the comments here. Vincent was saying that during the lockdown, many credit union members were kept themselves busy in doing vegetable gardening and tree plantation in Bangladesh. So, yeah, that's great, Vincent. I hope that this is not going to be only in the lockdown. Maybe this can be integrated as a program of the credit union for all the members. And yes, and Emma is saying that cash in trash program. They where recyclable Tetra packs are returned and are bought and deposit as share capital to the cooperative. Yeah. What else? Sylvia agree with the 6 C's of credit. That's possible. That she said that is possible. And Anamalai, I think it's common now. Yes, now Anamalai is saying that they are taking along bags with them for shopping. No more plastic bags. All right. Yes, Kunanjit, back to you.
We almost spend 1 hour and 15 minutes. I think Sylvia has already said yes, and I'm sure all the CEOs are very positive comments. Any other supplementary? Any
Yes,
other?
sorry, Vincent is saying that he wants to share.
Sure.
Vincent.
Vincent, please.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. On behalf of CCLB, I am very much happy that I am here with you people. This is my second time, and I am also gathering a lot of experience through the webinar seminar, because and also I am thankful to our management to provide me the chance. Actually, today our CEO is busy with the board meeting in the office. Just I would like to sharing already. I thank our Miss Lenny. Actually, yes, in Bangladesh during the lockdown, many creditor members were busy with the gardening and tree plantation, especially agriculture-based job. And yes, we obviously we shall keep continue in the future in the family level, and also we shall encourage our creditor members so that they can continue this type of job. Actually, just I would like to share a little bit about our ongoing office activities, because you know in Dhaka city, it is already the government took the new plan. It will be the zone-wise lockdown already started from 9 June. Already zone-wise, it will be lockdown, and now it is flexible up to 15 June. Maybe the new circulation is coming from the government, because the situation is day by day is very much terrible in Bangladesh. It is increasing, because till yesterday above 1,000 people already died, and you know that about 75,000 people are now affected, and all over the country it is spread out. So in this way, what is CCLB and the credit union doing in Bangladesh? That is, CCLB is open, but we are working the staff members in the rostering. We are following the roster method, because some people are doing in the office and some people are working in the house or their own home. This is over 3 days. Some people are working in the office, and next 3 days some people are working. This is the way of working right now in CCLB, and some credit unions also are opening, and they are having their transactions, but not in full swing. They are doing it is cash basis, not maintaining the digital channels in Bangladesh, because I think our ma'am Lenny and Ranjit sir, and also even Shivaji sir know about the Bangladesh, that here in Bangladesh major credit unions member are habituated doing the transaction in cash, not digital. This is very want of problem in Bangladesh. And also now right now in Bangladesh, actually the credit union, very few credit unions are opening. I don't know, after 15 June maybe the new circulation is coming, and after circulation maybe credit union will take the new planning how they will keep their offices. And thank you very much on behalf of CCLB for presenting a nice presentation, especially the CEO Aku. Actually it was very much learning, and thank you very much on behalf of CCLB on board and also management for having a nice presentation, and also having many informations from other CEO sir from the other federations. And this is sharing from the on behalf of CCLB. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vincent. Could you pass our regards to the US CEO and the board of directors? I hope they are doing well. So we understand 74,000 are affected. Really, you said a total death is over 1,000. Still, recovery is the 15,000. We are monitoring. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
So, so here in NAN, maybe all the CEOs has given a green line and approve our we'll call a regional program and country level program. Maybe probably give to us at least another 2 to 3 weeks time. We will allocate 1 day TOT to electronically, and maybe your country respective in charge of the training and development, and as well as 1 primary cooperative one staff member who are in charge maybe on development side can participate for the 2 person for the program. We will come up with around maybe 4 hours kind of training session. It's not the meeting, training session on electronically. Is it, can we have your agreement or your any other comments on this, our follow-up action?
Yes, maybe Kunranjit, they can also suggest I mean, what is the better way on their part? Yeah.
So still another minutes remaining our time. So any other friend? I think everyone has a very busy schedule. I'm sure they might have some other important. Agree. Yes, I can see in the notes. Yes, yeah, possible. I think with understanding everyone. So shall we conclude? And it was very appreciated by the CEOs and program, and giving to the ACU for go forward and come out with the TOT program. And maybe in near future we will able to conduct TOT. So with that, I will back again to Lenny to say closing
Yeah.
remarks. So everyone, to thank you so much for joining.
Okay, so I think we will, how do I say, maybe we'll set around the TOT around close to July 4, because July 4 is the International Cooperative Day, and the theme of that is Cooperatives for Climate Action. So probably on July 4, we also need to have a one session, that we are supporting the theme of the International Cooperative Day on that particular day. All right, so I hope that this is not going to be the last, and we are looking forward for the next meeting with you in July. I hope everybody will agree that it will be now a regular monthly meeting for all the CEOs of member organizations of ACU. Thank you so much for your active participation, and look forward to seeing you again. I hope that you are all safe, and please, if there is anything that you need, we are just very close to you. Just email us, or we have a group chat among the CEOs. Thank you.
Okay. Sylvia asking the group photo. Yes, you switch off your camera, and then you can see.
Can you open your video? Okay.
And arrange for that.
Group pictures. So who's okay? Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Everybody.